conference rooms, great resource on tax abatement workshops, okay, because you know how the rates and evaluations fluctuate, but you're always paying more every year while your house is deflating if you're property owners. We did have a PowerPoint presentation. We were on the web, right on the screen, and we showed people how to fill out property tax abatement paperwork so they could file their tax abatement paperwork and get money back. We had people save $300, $400. I think one of our folks out in West Holyoke, where the mayor lives and the houses are bigger, saved $600 a year because of our program. We brought value. Okay. The other thing is school choice, charter schools, and we don't have vouchers. There's a couple other states in the nation that have school vouchers. We don't have that here, but we have charter schools, and we have one in Holyoke. Well, when that school was developing for the minorities, for the lower income population in downtown Holyoke, we had a charter school or a school choice forum at the local Elks Lodge, and we had a dinner. In a snowstorm, we got 50 people out. We bring value, and I would, as a state chair, teach the local leadership of the committees, the ward and the city and town committees, to do these kind of programs. And I would share what we have done in the past. We have to bring value. Okay.
One more question. The charter schools, do you believe that the charter schools eat into the budget? How would you work that? Because since this is basically a Democratic state, your Chapter 70, the brunt of the money for schools comes from that chapter. Charter schools eat into that money and deplete the city or the town that you're working within. It depletes that school budget. So how do you promote that charter school while at the same time trying to maintain an even flow across your territory for all the minority parents who cannot send their children to a charter school for whatever reason, because they feel that they're not going to get enough support from that charter system? How do you
The charter school is a public school.
It is. They eat your Chapter 70 money.
Yeah, but it's a public school, and it's out from underneath the teachers' union. This is the turf that we're losing. We're losing the unions, we're losing the quasi-government agencies, we're losing the government employees. You know.
Well, if we can take that question offline, following, in the spirit of time, the town of Dartmouth does grant us very generously a specific time increment here. I did see one further question that I'd like to adjourn in the spirit of time. We have occupied this room for a significant amount of time, and due to contractual efforts from the custodial crew. I did see one further question regarding Mr. Franco's candidacy. Jacob?
We talked a lot about your history and your position. I want to speak for everyone to thank you for service.
Thank you.
You said you're a business executive.
Right.
In business, you have business plans. As chairman, as a candidate for the chairmanship, do you have a business or political plan for the party?
I'll have an executive summary for you before the election, wherever the committee people are. I will have an executive summary type plan for you, but not a complete business plan. It's something we can work on. We can adapt it from the past and mold it into something different, but it's very extensive. You're looking at hours of work. I will be happy to have a summary for you. I do want to close on something very quickly. It's just a personal story. My dad passed away a couple years ago. And we're from the Springfield area. And at his funeral, the funeral director came up to me. His name is Franco, a friend of my dad's from the south end of Springfield. He used to be all Italian, Democrat, working class Italian folks. And Franco said to me, "Oh, you're Michael. You're Tom's middle child." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm very sorry about your dad passing and so forth, but he goes, I need to tell you something. When your father ran the United Italian American Association or Society out of Springfield back in the 80s for 3 years as the president of that organization, he says, we never had bigger functions, bigger banquets, the best Columbus Day parades, the most dynamic parade marshals than when your father ran that organization. He goes, I just want to thank you, your family, and your dad was a tremendous guy, And, it really made me feel very good about that. So I remember as a kid, my father being involved in that, and me in some pictures with some of his grand marshals. And the reason I bring this story up here is because a lot of people tell me I'm a lot like my father. And I'll take that, the good and bad of that. And I think that I can do just as good a job or better than what my father did because of what he and my mom gave me to advance, our family forward and this country and this state forward. So thank you for your time tonight.
Well, on behalf of the Republican city and town committees of our 2nd Bristol and Plymouth State Senatorial District, our South Coast Republican network here, if you will, we want to thank Mr. Franco and Nassour for coming down, being host to us this evening. Thank you so much. We're allowed to convene here for probably another 10 minutes. Empty, yes. So if I can have some young gentlemen help these tables.